Okay, well today we're going to paint a Hans Hofmann painting. And yeah, that sounds a little funny, but I think one of the best ways to get good at painting is to look at a lot of paintings and even copy a few paintings, because when you do that, you're building your visual and your technical vocabulary, and these are tools that you can use when you go to make your own painting. So anyway, I was looking at a book on Hofmann last night, and I came across this painting, and then I came in the studio this morning and painted this from memory. We're going to paint actually my painting based on Hofmann, because I didn't want to deal with any of the copyright issues. So I'll give you the title of this painting if you want to see the original, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Hans Hofmann while we're painting. So let's just go ahead and get to work. Okay, well right away I'm just going to put a little yellow where those spots are. And you know, this, I would actually suggest that you take a glimpse at this painting and then put it somewhere and then try to paint it from memory, and it'll probably come out better. But I'm going to, so I'll just go and paint some of these yellow spots. And again, this is really an exercise in color, just getting used to painting and space. Now, an interesting thing about this painting, Hofmann painted this when I think he was about 82 years old when he painted this. And and another thing is the painting is actually, it's actually 60 inches by 72 inches, so it's a really big painting. Now another interesting thing is I wanted to see what this would look like if it was that large of a painting, so I took this little painting and superimposed it on a gallery wall so we could get an idea of how this translates into a bigger painting. I think I'm going to mix a little of the burnt umber with a little yellow and a little red and warm that up a bit. So here's a tiny bit of yellow, and I'll grab some of this cadmium red and some of the burnt umber over here. Get a little bit of a kind of a warmer brown, and maybe I'll just put that right on the panel here with a knife. And there's one sort of over here. And it doesn't really matter. This is really just an exercise. And also, you know, it's at the end of this you'll know who Hans Hofmann is, and it's really important to know a little bit about art history. So now that we've got those spots of color, let's just wash in the background with, let's start with the red first, and I think that it's basically a little cadmium red and maybe some cadmium yellow. It kind of has an orange feel to it. So you can imagine if this painting is 5 feet by 6 feet, you must have been using a very large brush, and you can also imagine the energy that goes into a large painting like that. So I'll just throw that color right in at the bottom. And these exercises can be a lot of fun, and they can really sort of open up your mind when you paint the landscape. You can just start with a big brush and just have a lot of fun with it. Don't get too stressed out. See what happens. If it doesn't work, paint over it. Alright, so we've got some red in there. Now let's go and try to throw in that pink background. And I think that I'll just grab a little white and just start by mixing some red and some white to get that pink. And if we wanted to warm the pink up a little bit, maybe I'd grab a little bit of this color I have over here. So I'll dip this brush in some paint thinner so I can really wash that color on. Isn't that interesting how that pink immediately affects that yellow? Now, another cool thing about Hofmann, or an interesting fact, is I believe that Robert De Niro, I think he's the godfather of the actor Robert De Niro, and that's because I believe that De Niro's parents met at the Hofmann School in Provincetown, and Robert De Niro Sr. is is a painter, and you can see his paintings on the internet. And there's a really good documentary on Hofmann, and it's narrated by Robert De Niro. I'll put a link on the screen right over here, and you can see sort of an intro to that documentary. It's a PBS documentary. Let's see, I'll put some more of that red in here, and maybe just some heavy spots. And again, this is just an exercise, so I mean, I'll probably just leave this here. And now, if you've painted as quickly as I have, and you still have paint on your palette, you can then get rid of that Hofmann exercise, and then just take those same colors and come up with something of your own. So let me grab another panel. And so you've got a fresh panel here, and maybe we'll just work with the yellow. Got a little red in there. And maybe take just some of the pure white. And maybe grab some of that pink. Now I'm going to wash I'm going to dip my brush here in paint thinner and soak up a lot of that pink color and just wash some pink on. Okay. And then maybe grab a little of the warmer brown, that burnt umber color. Whoops, I got a lot of white on my brush. And grab some of that burnt umber and a little red. Mix it up over here. Let's just throw this color right in here. So basically, I'm just having fun. I'm just playing with color and learning something. It's no different than playing notes on a guitar. You're just sort of getting intuitive with the color. So now, fun exercises. Let's take this painting and throw it on that wall and see what it looks like. Well, you know what? First, let's put some more color in here. Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun. In case you were wondering, that's done on Photoshop, and basically when I get a job, when I get a commercial art job, I often do that. I call it a digital installation. So I'll make a little study, and then I'll take a picture of the client's home and digitally install the study, and hopefully then I get the commission. Now, I couldn't find that painting, the painting by Hofmann. The title is Summer Over the Land, I believe. It's right in here. This is a book by Tina Dickey, and the title of the book is Studies with Hans Hofmann, Color Creates Light. So if you want to know more about that, you can find it, I'm sure, on Amazon. But the title of that painting that we were doing a study on is Summer Over the Land, 1962, oil on canvas, 60 by 72 inches. And if you want to know more about Hofmann, I'll put a link to that. It's like a short intro to that PBS special. And if you want to buy the actual full-length documentary, I'll put a link in my website and on the description of this video. Hope you do a couple of paintings this week, and I'll see you next week.